Well, I took the intake manifold off of the motor today because a friend of mine told me about an old trick on keeping these manifolds sealed. These antique plumber type manifolds using the brass packing washers tend to have leaks, and they're finicky to keep sealed, for lack of a better term. So the old trick is to use an O-ring, a rubber O-ring, that just barely fits over top of the intake manifold and will fit inside the manifold nut. As you can see, I've wormed away rubber O-ring down into the bottom of the nut there. And then the trick is to grind, sand, or file away about half of the taper on the brass, and then the flat will push against the O-ring when the nut is bearing down on it, and will make a perfect seal. No more problems with intake manifold leakage. And the other thing I wanted to do is mention something that I neglected in my last video, and that is this phenolic intake manifold spacer. Goes between the manifold and the carburetor. It adds like half an inch of space for more of a plenum effect, but also keeps heat from being transferred from the motor to the carburetor, which helps keep the fuel atomized better. And it has an O-ring front and back, so no need for manifold gaskets. And I got this from a good guy, Andrew Johnson at Antique Speed Machine, and it also came with the extended bolts here, Parkerized bolts. He's a good guy. Antique Speed Machine, Andrew Johnson. I would do business with him any day. He does Wyco magnetos. Anyway, it's a good place to go and shop. So that's my project for today. I've got those O-rings down in there in the manifold. I'm going to do some work on these packing washers, and we'll put the manifold and carburetor back together again. Have a good night.